Hello. Welcome back to our U.S. 1890 campaign, Waves of Steel. In the last episode, we had a nice little war with Spain going on there, and we actually got a real fleet engagement, which was pretty sweet. Tension is high across the board with several other countries, and Germany, unfortunately, the tension is also going high because they are apparently allied with Spain, so we're probably going to end up with Germany jumping in here soon enough. And hopefully, we'll find a way to lower tensions with Britain before they declare war on us because they're allied with Russia, I think. Nope, they're not allied with anybody. So if we go to war with Britain on top of everything else, then we don't have to worry about a fourth nation jumping in. Let's go ahead and start pressing some buttons and see what we get. Make it another, here we go. Cruiser action in the Gulf. Nope, they declined. Cruiser action in the Gulf. The Gulf of America, as it's known now, apparently. Wonder if that's ever going to change in video games in the future. It's obviously not labeled here, but when, new countries are formed, which doesn't really happen these days so much anymore. It's mainly, post World War II era where a bunch of new nations were created, via treaty and all that. There were a lot of changes to the maps. Okay. Well, I guess we can speed up here a little bit and see if we can't get out in front of whatever kind of ship this is. It looks like it's some sort of cruiser. So we'll put a hurting on my destroyers there. But it's nighttime for now. Daylight is coming. Looks like just a maybe half hour, yeah, 25 minutes or so. There are no torpedoes. These are heavy cruisers. So we're gonna go that way. There we go. These must be the old Nashvilles. This is another Nashville. Okay. I'll tell you what we'll do. This is the second cruiser division. We'll go ahead and make this subordinate to the second cruiser division. Make it core and go. Oh, hang on. We'll ignore it for now. Oh, this here is following it. That's why. Turn that off. There we go. The goal here is just to get out in front of this in order to launch some torps if we can. We'll use up these destroyers early on. We consider these destroyers to be like, one-shot weapons, essentially. So let's see if we can't, oops, see if we can't fire off a torpedo here. Conquistador class. The Spanish and the Brits have a few pretty cool ship class names. The U.S. is, pretty tame by comparison, essentially. Mostly named after like cities, states, and Medal of Honor winners. We're going to. Well, we're losing this one here. What? What just blew up? Oh, one of the destroyers. Okay. Well, that's cool. That's actually fine. It's actually really good. And our destroyers are getting pummeled. So we're going to retreat back to Tampa. There we go. And this, our little gambit that we did The heck's going on here? Our little gambit where we're like, hey, we're gonna try to destroy or rush him real quick in the very beginning while it's still dark. Didn't work out for us, and daylight is coming. And he's like, he's got a full head of steam there ahead of him now. Oh, he's got a full head of steam, so he is going along at full speed. So we're not going to catch him easily. We're going to have to sail parallel to him to catch him. And our destroyers are just not built for that. These are our mobile class. The leader is below average, but he's lucky, and I think it said he's aggressive as well. So the McDonald's just gonna like sail along there. Oh, this conquistador is getting pummeled. The McDonald's is going to sail along and look for an opportunity to go in and torpedo if when it can. But we do have the mobiles right there, which will do the same job. And at some point, the McDonald might be able to like zip in from the side there and chase the conquistador back north again to try to avoid it going into the port. Well, we're hitting it with 8-inch guns as well as 5s. There's some more 8-inch hits. There's some more. That is pretty very, very accurate gunnery on our part right now. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, let's just since it's doing this anyhow, let's go ahead and try and hit it with a torpedo. Oh, and we lost control of the division. All right. Well, we no longer have torpedoes at hand except on this destroyer. But it looks like the Conquistador is really slowed down now. So this will be a successful engagement. So we did lose a destroyer, but we sank 2 enemy destroyers, and we sank a heavy cruiser. Take a look at this Conquistador. How new is it? 1900. It's pretty new. 10,000 tons. 4 9-inch guns, 10 4-inch guns. That's pretty, modern. That's a pretty modern heavy cruiser. So we're going to exit out of that battle. We're not going to save that one. It wasn't that big of it. It's a victory, but it's not like that big of a victory. Okay. We're sinking some enemy ships mainly through surface raiding. Yep, and we're losing relations with Germany, of all people. We're going to see how willing they are to send ships over here to the Caribbean. We could, let's see here. They have 6 battleships. You know what? We could potentially set Cuba as an invasion target and invade. That would also take away a pretty decent amount of their base capacity there, but Guantanamo Bay is the one we really want to take off of them if we want to do that. So here's a preparatory cruiser action right around Cuba. Santiago. All right. Another nighttime start to the battle. Okay. And now that we are losing destroyers, we may be forced to design a new destroyer class and build like maybe 10 or so as like a couple replacement squadrons, so then we can consolidate the squadrons that have each lost 1 or 2 destroyers amongst themselves. Like consolidate them all into like one big old formation. There's a destroyer there. So we do want to dodge a little bit here. Well, I think it's a destroyer. It's moving so fast, I highly doubt it's a light cruiser. And it's dead in the water after just a few hits, so it's probably, yeah, it's a destroyer. and we've also lost our rudder. So let's swing wide there, so we don't get just accidentally smacked by that destroyer. There we go. We only have one destroyer in this battle, so we do sort of need to conserve it, except it just lost its communications, and it's about to suicide in. So we're going to go ahead and launch now before it takes a big hit. Okay. Since we're already on the other side, we'll just go south. We'll go like that. Oh, there we go. What do we hit them with? 6-inch guns. Wow. All right, that's a quick battle, huh? Not enough to earn a prestige. Let's denounce Italy. Nah, let's not. Our budget is good as it is. Oh no. Yes, from Germany, and we're gonna be at war with Britain as well here in just a minute. Yikes. So maybe we should seek peace with Spain. I was hoping to farm them for prestige points and victory points, but that may not be great. All right, let's where are our submarines at? We do have a bunch in the Caribbean, so let's put them on unrestricted warfare. Why not? I mean, we're almost at war with Britain. Oh, hang on, that's not good. What the heck's going on there? We're to build a couple more of these, I think. Build another 3 of them. Why not? Alrighty. Means we're to put something on. This is the 3rd division. We'll go ahead and put that on trade protection. There you go. So let's turn the page. Here we go. We're going for Cuba. All right, we have immediate contact. So let's oops. Set our formation to line ahead. Go down to max -2 on that. Let's max -2. Now, what kind of battleships do we have here? These are the Michigan class, and then we have our Wyomings. So, we're going to go ahead and put our Michigans on max and send them up here to start clearing out all the land fortifications. We're going to go to better speed on our cruisers. We'll get them out there so that we can begin clearing the way, getting rid of enemy ships. And we're going to go to full speed with our Wyomings. Put these on line ahead. Max -2. There we go. Should be everything we want. And as a matter of fact, let's send this set of light cruisers. Put them on cruise. We're going to send them over to escort the transports, just in case anyone tries to get close to them. The light cruisers should be able to help chase them away. So we want to go down to about 7 knots or so, because that's about how fast these things travel. Yep, 7 and 8. So it goes up to 8 in total. So we'll go to 8. We'll just use our heavy cruisers out here as a screen to keep the enemy at a distance for now. And it looks like a battleship formation incoming. So we want our heavy cruisers. We'll put them on 20 knots. We'll use them to support us in this battle. They should have, if these are our mobile class, these are the Seattles. Oh, these are our old. Hang on, how new are Seattles? Actually, Seattles are fairly new, right? I can't remember. 1900 with refitted in 1904. Yeah, that'll be fine, I think. But yeah, this will be good little uh, 8-inch helpers for the battle, essentially. Just contribute some gunpowder or gun gunfire power, I suppose. Some gunpowder. All right, they are turning away to the north. So we're gonna turn. We want our battleships to take the brunt of this. If our battleships can actually catch them. 16 knots. 16, we should be able to catch up to them. Fairly good order. We'll send these light cruisers up here for now to support the bombardment division, as we're going to call it. Bunch of cruisers down there. Oh, those are German. They're the Germans. Sticking their nose in our business here in the Caribbean. Okay, let's get our heavy cruisers involved. We're going to cut the light cruisers across the top there. We're going to speed them up a little bit. And we might be able to dip in and do a quick little torpedo run, maybe. Who knows? Depends on how much we can distract the enemy there. But for now, we're just looking for land bombardment targets for the invasion. And if they don't show themselves, then we're just going to cut these down to cruise speed. We're actually going to cut them down to 10 knots. Just kind of patrol around the objective area until the transports can get there. Oh, there they are. There are the coastal batteries. That's fine. Okay, there's some 12-inch hits with our battleships. I really don't want them to get into their port. That would be pretty junky. Wouldn't like that. We're going to sail a little bit closer with our Michigans and try to use those 7-inch broadsides that we have to knock out the guns. All right, they have retreated into port with their battleships. So that means we send our battle fleet to the south here and see if we can go pick on the Germans. We're going to put these destroyers on cruise so we don't run them out of fuel. Scoring some hits on the coastal batteries. That's pretty cool. How badly hit is this Montana? I think the gun is jammed. Yeah, the turrets are jammed. That's why it's got so much of a red bar there. I think both front and back turrets are jammed up. They must be jammed because jelly don't malfunction like that. Well, this is a chance for our battleships to pick on some cruisers. Let's see, this is the 2nd Cruiser Division. So let's go ahead and make them core. We're going to make one big battle line of heavy cruisers. Use them as like a second battleship fleet or division, essentially. All right, we're running out of ammo on the Arizona there. It's probably main battery as opposed to secondary, because I think we did strip off a lot of the main ammo to save on weight and whatnot. Let's bring these light cruisers over here. And if all else fails, we can always send over the main battleship fleet to help with this bombardment once we get rid of this. At least once we clear out these cruisers. I don't think we're going to sink all of them, but we can at least chase them away. Send these destroyers back north. Now, Palau. Remember we had that class before. We couldn't pronounce it. I couldn't pronounce it. I'm sure there are people out there who are perfectly good at pronouncing it, but it looks like it might be slowed down. So this is our chance to launch some torpedoes. Let's start with the back. There we go, and work our way forward. There we go. It's a heavy cruiser. Probably not a very modern one. 1896, so not very modern. So that 2 torpedoes should do it. If we just land 1, that we landed 2, so it is certainly going to sink. Let's get our cruisers out of there, the light cruisers. Let's turn our battleships north to pursue. And we're going to bring our light cruisers down here to torpedo the Gneisenau. We have heavy damage on the first of the coastal batteries. Alright, cool. We can bring our heavy cruisers up north. These will come down and torpedo the Gneisenau. And this will just chase everything back into port. Clear the field of their useful pieces. And let's slow our battleships down to 5 knots here so they have more time on target with each run. Yeah, I think that has to be main battery ammo. It's running out that quickly. Let's fire some torpedoes. Off we go. Oh, nice. We're actually scoring hits there. So we're going to go to the one in the back. And we've already scored 1 hit, which is good enough to sink it, but we're just going to try to score 1 more just as some insurance. There we go. So it's 2 German heavy cruisers down. Cool, we have accomplished our mission, but we still want to get rid of those coastal batteries. And these light cruisers are not fit for that. Well, they can actually do pretty decent. I don't want to slow them down that much. I want them to be behind the battleships. There's another Gneisenau. Gneisenau. Gesundheit. There's a Rostock. All right, we'll send the light cruisers over to torpedo that. And let's bring the heavy cruisers over to intercept. And we'll actually bring these light cruisers over to intercept here. All right, we have destroyed 1 coastal battery. And once our battleships get over there, they'll be able to throw some shells downrange as well at that land target. This is pretty ugly, going right into the teeth of some heavy cruisers, but we're going to try to torpedo that Conquistador. Eh, oh well. We have more torpedoes, fortunately. Okay. This is shaping up pretty well for us. Getting rid of some annoying ships. Okay, yeah. Arizona's out of main ammo, which is fine. Line ahead on that. Turn off, turn together. And we're going to cut back in. We're going to cut in with these ships. And we'll continue along this path and pummel these destroyers a little bit with our light cruisers. There we go. So I recall Spain had a lot of destroyers, I think. They had like 40 some destroyers at the beginning of the war. So any destroyers we can get rid of is a nice little bonus. They're not really, honestly, they're not really any real threat in this era. As long as we're careful. As long as we're careful, they're not a real threat. Not a real threat, particularly at least. Yeah, I don't like fighting around the port like this because if they get too damaged or whatever, they'll just disappear, just like that Rostock just did. But if we can chase them out of the port and keep them from going back in, that will be nice for us. So let's bring these light cruisers back around. Very cool. This is a little bit of a protracted battle. You know what I'm going to do? There. We're just going to stop and just pummel the heck out of that. Maria, Maria. All right. Well, we were beating the heck out of that guy with 6-inch guns. Then here come our battleships to finish the job, hopefully. Nothing. We should have one shot. It's a nose-on shot, so. But now, our third one in line, the Wilmington. That might be good. There it is. Oh, I hit that button. All right, hang on. Where's my preferences? Where's my torpedo announcements? Let's see. Where are my torpedo announcements? Here it is. Yeah, I hit that yes to all button, which will clear out your torpedo announcements like individuals. So it just automatically hits and doesn't tell you. So it's turned together. Turned together. There we go. I can fire the torpedo from the New Haven. Bada bing, bada boom. Cool. All right, that is the end. We're going to go to cruise, cruise, and cruise. These destroyers can just, you know, go home. We'll send them this way, actually. Vaguely home. We're just bombarding. Want to see what guns we're firing. You know what we might be able to do is we don't have any ammo left for bombardment. So we're gonna put that on cruise and bring the battle division over. We're gonna put it on max speed and it will finish off the coastal battery. So the battle division will go home. We still have an hour of daylight left. I don't know if the battle division is going to get there in time. If it doesn't get there in time, it's going to disappear in the dark. Okay, now we can turn and drop our speed down to like 6 knots and start doing some drive-bys. Actually, what we'll do is once everything is lined up proper-like. All right, there it is. So we're going to go down to 0 speed. We're going to go down to 0 speed here. We'll take this off of AI control. Go down to 0 speed. And just sort of head this way. Now we just wait it out, I guess. We have successfully invaded. Yeah, the last ship that belonged to the enemy sank, and we got rid of the 2 land targets we had here, 2 fortifications. So it's a little bit curious that they don't just let us end the battle. But these naval invasions are always a little bit strange. I mean, not always strange, but they can usually be a little bit strange. Yes. All right, we lost nothing. Uh, Spain lost 4 heavy cruisers and 3 destroyers. However, the curious part about this is that a couple of those, actually 3 of those cruisers, were German. We get 2 prestige points, and we have landed in Cuba. We'll call it the Battle of Santiago. Let's not make any more enemies right now. We're already at the verge of war with Britain. This is going to get pretty nasty once Britain joins in. But we're still going. We are still going. Yeah, we're at 33 minutes here. So I'm not sure if I want to press the button or not. Yeah, let's press it. Enemy coastal raid. Germany, what are you doing? Raid me? Then you're not raiding me. The enemy can't challenge us. All right. This looks like engagement with our heavy cruisers. Our heavy cruisers, this new generation that we built, have been doing pretty good. All right. Turn off that. We're at 20 knots. Turn off that. Get us into a proper fighting formation here. There we go. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the new generation of heavy cruisers that we've got going on here. It's mainly because the fire controls are good. The fire controls, and we upgraded the main guns on some of that as well. So I just want to get the heavy cruisers involved. If we can catch the good nights now, we might have to send out the light cruisers to do it, because it will karate chop the heck out of our destroyers if we send those out to do the job. All right, it's gonna be dark soon. We got to get closer so we don't lose them. If we can, like, we can just catch one of them by themselves. By the time dark gets here, then we'll be okay. What we're gonna do is we're actually gonna send the destroyers home. So put them on cruise and go up to Tampa, I guess. Cruise up to Tampa and cruise to Tampa. This is not the sort of engagement for destroyers, particularly. Even though nighttime is a great time to launch torpedo attacks in this era, you don't really want to do it against a heavy cruiser because it probably has a lot of secondaries, and it's maneuverable enough that it's not like where you're chasing down a battleship where you can just like run up on it and pick your angle. It's going to be, ducking and weaving. You have to be a little bit more careful about how you attack. It's just not very feasible when something has a lot of secondaries and it has maneuverability on its side. All right, we're gonna fire some torpedoes. Oh, I hate that. All right, off we go, and off we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn together. There we go. Get just out of our own torpedo range, just in case. And this will be a chance to launch a torpedo at this light cruiser. Excellent. So can we hit this? We cannot. Okay. Actually, these are I got the heavy cruiser selected. That's why. That's why I knew I was doing something wrong. Well, I mean, if they want to fight us in the dark like this, we are equipped to do it with these particular cruisers that we have. So we're going to fire one torpedo from the mobile. Oh my gosh, I hate that. It's because I'm clicking just under the target there, or the whatever. Right, maybe we can catch him. There he is. That was pretty stupid of that ship to come back, but we'll take it. We just want to keep in contact. We'll sink these ships in the dark all day long. That's probably another light cruiser there. Don't believe what it says. It's not a battleship. Fire and fire. And we lost our light cruisers to the AI. Uh-oh, it's on fire. Am I on fire? I am on fire. No, I can't get control back. It's not sufficiently damaged enough to detach it either. Alright, we need to end this battle pretty quick if we want to save our light cruiser. Yes, it is on fire. We are doing my favorite maneuver, where we have them bracketed on either side with our ships. It's hard to believe that's 2% damaged. I don't think that's correct. Because it says it's 2% damage. It said it's 2% damage the whole time. Oh, I really hate that. Cool, we're done. 3 cruisers dead, 3 heavy cruisers dead, and a light cruiser. Boom, that should be worth a prestige. It is. We'll take it. Excellent. Let's keep fighting. Yeah, we're still okay, even if Britain joins in. No! Why would it do that? I have harsh pistols turned on. Well, that is a real humbug. Excuse my strong language. Don't mean to offend anyone here. Well, we're gonna move back to the U.S. East Coast, I guess. Try and save some money on maintenance. And some of this stuff will be finished here soon. Our budget is still horrible. We have about 8 months worth of budget currently. Actually, it's probably more like 5. So we do have to hope for. Man, look at that. For some reason, our tension with France didn't go down all that much. Well, what we can do is we can halt construction on a couple of these for now, just to extend the budget until we can maybe hit a budget event or something. So, Britain, the war ended, and Britain raises its budget. France raises its budget, but ours is in the tank. Well, this is a chance to get our budget up and get some tension and some prestige. So we'll go ahead and do that. Because even though the tensions are going up, they should creep back down in the aftermath of a war, as usual. All right, these are McDonald class. So here are a few replacements essentially. So we're gonna go ahead and just assign those into divisions that are missing ships. Like that. There you go. And we'll have some new transports finished here shortly. We just finished some submarines. And we can build bigger destroyers. That might be our next project, since we're getting some torpedo technology anyhow. Yeah, there's Francis going down due to the recent war. It's a double tension lowering event. Right, check the almanac. We're still behind on dock size, so unfortunately we got to work on that. Got to keep going. 16 submarines. Reduced chance of bearings overheating while, doing the sonic thing. Got to go fast. There we go. That's increased industrialization. That is pretty sweet. All right. Yeah, we're at about the 45-minute mark, so that'll be it for this particular episode. This one's going out on Monday because tomorrow's episode is already uploaded and ready to go. So I guess I'll be seeing you all Monday. Well, I guess this will be seeing you Monday, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow, I guess, which will be Tuesday. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I hope you're enjoying this, whatever this is we're doing. We're the United States, but we haven't like captured anything yet. Like we tried. I said, keep fighting. Like we'll get them, but we had Cuba successfully invaded, and we're good to go there. Like we were holding our own against Germany and Spain at the same time. I mean, Germany still had between the two of them, they still had plenty of light heavy cruisers to sink and plenty of battleships to sink. That actually would have been fun, but that'll be it. All right. I'll see you next time, and sail safe out there.